This project I'm doing for a log home company. As you can see, it's an eagle head. I'm doing it on the end of a floor joist that comes off the loft on the second floor, and the head will overlook the main floor, probably a dining room or living room. I like to use these plywood templates. They give me a really good guideline as to where to cut with my chainsaw. I also knock off a lot of wood really fast. This is a one-day project, and even at that I take my time. I think it's the kind of project anybody could do. Just depends on how it's going to turn out. Unlike other projects I've done in past videos, they've been very advanced. I would say anybody could take a stab at this one. Now, if you're going to do one, I suggest you do it on a piece of wood that you don't care to destroy. Not that I'm thinking you're going to blow it, but it might take a little practice. Looks like I had to take cover there. It's really important to keep your work dry. Wet wood is just not very manageable at all. You can't sand it. It doesn't cut well. I like to refer to my template with almost every move I make in this carving. Just keeps me on track. Makes me avoid making big mistakes. I'll always make mistakes. There's always something I'm dissatisfied about. I usually think I can do better. But if the mistakes are small, project goes along pretty good. It's when you make a big mistake that things really slow down. You have to backtrack and try to fix it, and things get messy. So nobody likes to make mistakes. But don't get too down on yourself, because they're going to happen. That's when you learn how to fix things. Get out a chunk of wood, maybe have to glue it in there. You're going to make it so it's not noticeable. And definitely do not tell anybody that there's a mistake in that carving. Because if you patch it up properly, they won't notice. But if you tell them it's there, that's probably all they'll notice. When I carve an eagle head like this, I like to open up the mouth a bit. I just think it makes the carving a little more interesting, with showing a bit of the tongue. Usually these carved eagle heads will have a closed mouth, but I can't get away with that because I've done them with the mouth open, and that's what the client expects. With every carving I do, I like to raise the bar a bit. Just add something to it, make it a little more quality. And when you do raise the bar, you can't go back, because that's your standard now. And that's what people are going to expect. It's starting to look like an eagle head. I get more excited as the project goes along, as the image starts to appear for me. I don't know if it's just the finish line in sight or the satisfaction of accomplishing a great job. This here is a cut-saw grinding disc that I have on the end of that Makita. Any of these tools, you don't want to slip and go into your flesh. Could be ugly. I've actually slipped and caught my sleeve or my shirt on a tool and just ripped the whole sleeve off. I've just been fortunate that I've still got all my fingers and toes and stuff like that. As you can see, I'm putting on a bit of a fashion show right now. How do you like the way I wear my blue jeans and that beautiful orange coat? Over the years, I've acquired very strong hands from handling these tools. I gotta be careful sometimes shaking people's hands. Sometimes you run into a limp hand and it squishes underneath yours. It's gross. Just cutting in some head feathers there. Outline them a little darker. Bring in the heavy artillery. I just interpret this. I think every time I do it differently. And every carver probably does their feathers a little differently. When I'm doing finishing, I try to make it look like it's been hand tooled, even though I will not use a hand tool on this whole carving. Earlier when I carved, like 25 years ago, 30 years ago, I did a lot of hand tool stuff. But as years went on, I just eliminated my hand tools. I don't even know if I have hand tools anymore. I always like to stand back and have a look at it, because somebody that's seeing these things, they're going to see them at usually no closer than 5 or 10 feet away. So it's really important to stand back and make sure that That's how it's going to be seen. As you will see, the cut lines are very visible. A carving has to be very visible. Quite exaggerated in a lot of areas. Like most of these features on this carving, you'd have to look very closely to notice them in a real bird. But there's qualities of the real thing that I like to bring out and highlight in a carving. Such as the head feathers, and the eye is very important. Has to be really prominent. I probably should have a little more safety equipment on. But I've done it for so many years that I quite often neglect safety. And it's us old guys that get nailed. And I've had more accidents in the last 10 years than I had of 20 years of carving previously. Just because I get a little more careless. And there's the real thing. Complete.